Hey guys, I know some of you are still hung up on engravings. How do they work? What do they do? My buddy Dan asked me today while I was on stream, so I was able to save the VOD so that I can post it here to YouTube. If you have any questions, feel free to find me on my Twitch stream or go ahead and post it in the comments. But for now, let's get straight into it. Your engravings are these things here in this engraving book, which you'll find in here, right? By going to your character panel, and on the bottom left, there's these two bubbles, right? Those are your imprints for your engravings. What you're going to do is you're going to click on one. It's going to open this book, basically. That's going to have your engravings in it. You want to prioritize having your class one as high as possible. I'll explain that in a second. And then you probably want to prioritize some other ones. You'll look up the engravings for your class, like because they're different from class to class and spec to spec, etc. What you do is, so for the first time that you're going to level an engraving, right? I'll even go as far as to open some books. I don't even care, right? So I need Lightning Fury. You see I have 8 out of 20 Lightning Fury right here. It's not activated though because I can't pull the engraving like I can with, say, Sight Focus right here to put it over there. So for Lightning Fury, say I wanted to activate that, what I would do is I would get the books for it. So I'm going to buy them off market because I don't have any bags left. You have a whole bunch of bags I told you not to open. So for Lightning Fury, these are like 8 gold a piece. Say, I need 12 of them to get to 20, right? Once I have 20 of the green books, and then I use them as a bundle. So these books right here, you use them, okay? It'll read the engraving effect and it'll add the rank to your recipe book, which is what this is. So now if I go down here, you see Lightning Fury is newly activated. It'll have a little red dot, which means I can pull it to put it over here, right? At level 1 engraving, which is using 20 green books, it will give 3 blue nodes towards your engraving. What does this mean? So if I have 1 Lightning Fury effect, right? When I go to engraving, right? Lightning Fury will have 1, 2, 3 points in it, okay? I can put both of the same to get 6 points, right? And every 5 is a level of engraving. So you see every 5 nodes, level 1, attacks will have a 60% of generating a lightning orb, da 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 da. If I get it to level 2, it'll go to the level 2 version once I have 10 nodes, and the same for level 3, right? So you see right now I have no level 2s, right? But I have Awakening level 1 from my stone, which gives me +5 already. So it already gives me level 1. So I'm like, oh man, I want Awakening level 2. So I put, see, my Awakening is already level 2 engraving, meaning that I have used 20 blue books towards it. So it gives me 6 instead of 3, right? So I can just put it one time and it will give me 6 more points and it will level it to level 2 by giving me the 5 required to get to level 2. Okay, which means I get the level 2 version of this effect at all times. So my Awakening skill cooldown goes down by 25%, and I get 2 more uses in a raid environment because there's a maximum number of times that you can use your Awakening skill in a raid. Okay. One of the other things that I prioritize as a paladin is my class aura. So I usually do something like this so that I have at least level 1 of the blessed aura, which makes it so that my ult will heal. So I have this is also 20 blue booked, right? So it also gives me 6 points. Now, for example, if I only had, say, a 6 and a 3, if I were to only put, say, this 3 for vital point hit, it wouldn't level it up because it's short of those 5 points that I need to get to level 2. So in this case, I would not be able to have both of those engravings at level 2 unless I were to change out jewelry, because you can see each piece of jewelry gives different benefits. So like this jewelry here is not doing me anything. All it does is give me swiftness. But jewelry in tier 3 is fucking expensive. So I'm okay with that for now. You know, like it is what it is. So what you're going to do is you're going to decide what engravings you need for specifically your imprints, right? Generally speaking, it's probably going to be your class engraving. I started in the very beginning with double blessed aura for the longest time to have 2 level 2 blessed aura, and that's totally okay, to be honest. Make sense?
Yeah. I mean, I guess the books are specific though. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, so when you open your bags, right, of your books, which is what I told you not to do,
All in the
you're going to select the book that you need out of the bag. It's going to look like this, and it's going to have options. When you go to open it, it's going to look like this. You're going to have a list that you can grab from the bag, the box, whatever. If they're class specific, they'll say your class right in the front. So your class wants either Igniter or Reflux. In order to choose which of these you want, you're going to go read the ability in your engraving effect book by clicking your imprint and being like, this one's better or this one's better, depending on what you want to do as a player, because it will drastically change the way that you play sometimes. And there are different builds for different books, right? Generally speaking, once you have your class ability and you book it to 20 green books, and then you book it to 20 blue books, you pretty much just leave it there. I have a whole bunch of imprints. Do not do this. Do not. Straight up, do not do this. Okay? The reason that I did it is because I'm swimming in gold now that I'm in tier 3, and I just felt like it. That's it. I just felt like it. I strongly would not do this. I would only do it to the ones that you're going to use in these imprint slots, which are basically your class, whatever your class one is, book that to 20 green books, 20 blue books, and then maybe like one other ability, maybe 2 if you want the option to move it around.
If you 20 put 2 class bonuses in your set, do they not stack?
Yeah, so if you have 2 blessed, is what you're saying, like how I have it here.
I just have them both equipped, yeah.
That's totally okay. That means that you will get double the benefit. So for me, for Blessed Aura, if I have 2 Blessed Auras, that means it gives me a maximum of 12 points. The other part of engraving and how you get your other engravings set up is via jewelry, right? So with nothing in, I have no engraving effects, right? If I'm using my gear, right, or my imprints, which is below my sword, I can only ever have, 1 or maybe, 2 different types of engravings at any given time. The rest of your engravings come from your gear. Everything comes from your gear. Let me put this back the way that it was before I forget. So I can only have 2 engravings from like my imprints, right? So in order to supplement that, like I look for the stuff that I want on the gear that I have available to me. I'll close this. Particularly your stone. So your ability stone is going to give you potentially 2 different things almost by itself. You want to get at least +5, and you never want to go above +4 on your ability stone, because then it's going to give you a negative effect for your red effect. Your red effects are negative effects. You do not want those. So when you finally put on all your jewelry, you do not want anything to be highlighted red. See, like on the bottom of mine, I have 4 of this, 4 of this, 3 of this, and 2 of this. Means I have nothing at +5, meaning I have no negative effects on my character. That's why I have these other stones in my bag. Because if I ever get a piece of jewelry that has attack power reduction, right? You'll see that it'll highlight. So now I'll activate the negative effect also. So obviously, I want the ability to move my engravings around to get whatever is the best benefit for me, without getting a negative, if I can help it. Like if the stone bonkers for you and it gives you 2 of your best engravings and it gives you +9 points for both of them, and it gives you +5 of attack power reduction, you might want to use it, because it's still going to give you like an insane benefit over the con that it has attached to it, potentially. But these are things you're going to have to weigh out, in your head or whatever. You're going to replace your jewelry pretty quickly. So in the beginning, the thing that I would worry about in tier 1 is making sure that you get your class engraving 20 green booked, 20 blue booked, and you stick both of them in your, I was pointing over here, both of them in your imprint slots. That way you get those first 2 things or whatever for those first 12 points to get level 2 of your class, because that's going to give you the biggest spike in power. It's going to give you the most bang for your buck, so to speak.
What happens with the other books, though?
Like if you have, once you're done 20 green booking your class, or you can't get the class books, yeah, you just put them in whatever else. The thing is you only really want to go to 20 on everything, right? Some green books, let's say if we go to market, hold on.
Gotta figure out what combat feat I want.
Some green books, right? Even the class ones are worth upwards of 50 gold a piece. So if you have a bunch of extra books laying around and you don't plan on booking your alts, for example, or you just want to buy the books later and you want the gold now, you could just sell the extra books that you have. that's very like self-preference, like kind of shit, man. Like, I don't know whether I would or would not do that. I personally sold every extra book that I had. I don't give a fuck about my alts having books. I'm gonna be real. Every one of them could just have Awakening. I think Awakening is great. It works on literally every class. It's always good. You know what I mean? Like, Awakening is fantastic. It is very versatile. So if you have your Awakening booked green and booked blue, then you can use that for all of your alts. You do not need almost any other books unless you plan on min-maxing them once they're at tier 3, in which case you're making gold to buy those other books you need anyway.
Awakening's going to 20 because you said that. And I guess I should
in order to level it from 0 to 1, it's 20 green books. In order to level it from level 1 to level 2, it's 20 blue books. In order to level from level 2 to level 3, it's 20 purple books. In order to level from level 3 to level 4, which is the final level, it's 20 legendary books. And those are outrageously expensive right now because the game has just come out. So nobody is swimming in books like that. Grudge is good, but I would strongly stay away from it before it's like at least level 2, if not level 3, because it has an extreme drawback. In the very beginning, the thing you want to worry about the most is getting the class imprint that you want, 20 green booked, 20 blue booked, so that it gives 6 power nodes, and then you put that thing 2 times in your imprints, in your engravings. Or you may want a 20 green book, 20 blue book, your class and your Awakening, which is like your other one or whatever. And in which case you would put 1 and 1 because it gives 6 points each, which will activate level 1 for both of those. I don't know how good your class engraving is at level 2 for me to know whether or not that's, something that you should be doing. That's more like if you Google it, you will find, because it's specific from class to class. Hey guys, it's the end of the video. Hopefully all this information helps, and thanks for sticking around. Always means a lot to me when you wait till the end. If you have any other questions, like I said, feel free to ask them in the comments or to find me on my Twitch channel. And as usual, happy gaming.